The biggest tournament in the footballing world, and even the sports world for that matter, is starting in less than a week. Every 4 years, us football fans get excited for one thing, and it's the World Cup. When it comes around, everything is on pause. Now, of course, for this tournament, there are some human rights issues, and I advise everybody go research that yourself. But for this video, we're going to be talking about just the football. And honestly, like I do with every single tournament I cover on this channel, we're going to do a prediction video because, I have been quite the prediction beast, I would say, over the last 2 years. And I'm going to continue that as we head into the 2022 World Cup. Now, unlike all my MLS preview videos that we just did, this isn't going to be based solely on facts and all this stuff and research because, man, I already did that. I'm ready to just chill out and enjoy a tournament. So this is going to be a strictly vibes-based video. I'm just going with what I think. And again, every World Cup prediction is really just an opinion. What do you think is going to happen? So that's what I'm going with here. And jumping right in, we're looking at Group A first. And we got Qatar, the World Cup host, obviously, Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. Now for this group, I'm looking at two key figures right here, Senegal and the Netherlands. Qatar, honestly, it's your first tournament. You wouldn't even have qualified most likely if it wasn't hosted in your country. You're gonna be in fourth place. We're not gonna see a Russia-esque host make a run into the knockout stage in this one. And I'm gonna go Ecuador in third place. So right now I'm looking at Senegal and the Netherlands to make it out of the group with a surprise here, but I'm going Senegal for number one because they're a team that has these key pieces. Sadio Mane is back in this team after a possible injury scare. He is on the roster, and they're just a team that always seems to have that energy about them in these big tournaments. And for the Netherlands, they missed out on the last World Cup, and yes, they've gotten a lot better, but I have a feeling that they're only going to come in second in this group. Moving on to Group B, it's the big one because the USA's in it, England's in it, Iran, Wales. This is a tight group. And I'm just going to come out first and say, England, you're going to top it. I know I talked some sauce in a previous World Cup video that the USA was going to beat England, but I'm not so sure about anything anymore. This USA team can flux so much that I'm not too sure what to expect. But England, you're going to top this group. And if you don't, you should be ashamed. I'm going to throw Iran. I'm sorry, Next Generation Football. I know I'm underestimating you, but I'm throwing Iran in fourth place. And that leaves me Wales, USA. Who's going to make it out of the group? This is biased. Obviously, I'm an American, but Wales, I don't think that your team's going to be peak performance. Bale has been the guy for your team, but after a stint in MLS where he's barely played, was injured so many times, I'm not too sure if he's going to be at the top of his game and if he's going to really be able to put in a lot of minutes throughout this tight group stage phase. So that leaves the USA in second place. And yes, again, there's bias. I just want to make it out of the group. So of course, I'm going to put the USA as going through. Group C, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. For this one, Argentina. They are going to be one of the favorites this year. It's Messi's last tournament, and not only that, he finally has a team around him, so he's not going to be just the guy carrying him like in 2014. Now he has so many pieces that surround him. It's a really complete team. So Argentina, I think they're going to go far. Moving on, Mexico. I'm really disappointed in their roster. They left a lot of young guys out, and that's kind of what this Mexico team does. They have all this skill, but they really rely on these older players and this aging squad. So for Mexico, it's a surprise, but I see you jumped in second there, but nah, you're going to end up in third place as Poland make it out of the group. Lewandowski, he's going to pull them through, and Saudi Arabia all the way in fourth place. D now, France, the world champions, Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia. For me, I gotta say, France, you're obviously one of the favorites. You got so many skilled players with Mbappe, even though not a lot of people like him anymore, including me. He kind of fell off at least the vibe train that I got going on. But France, they're a top team. Even though they're missing key guys like Conte, they're still going to be able to pull through. Australia, for me, I want to say that they're going to have a surprise tournament, but honestly, I don't know much about them, so it may be a little ignorant, but they're going to go in third place as Denmark come in second. They're always a surprise team, always a dark horse. We saw that in the Euros the last year, and for Tunisia, you're going in fourth place. Group E now, Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan. Now for Germany, they're trying to make a comeback after a really disappointing run in 2018, not even making it out of the group. and I do think they're going to make it out of the group this time and in first place. Again, they have another really well-built team around them. Spain, I'm going to throw you in second because even though that you may be missing a top striker, Morata isn't really all that, I still think that you should be making it out of a group with Costa Rica and Japan. And for them, I'm going to go CONCACAF strong, Costa Rica in third place, and Japan in fourth. Group F now, Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. Croatia, the big ones from 2018 who made it all the way to the final. And Belgium, a team that is always rated for some reason by the FIFA rankings, but I don't think they are at the level that everyone always says they are. I don't know if I've ever seen their golden generation really come to fruition. But for this one, I do think they have a relatively easier group in this one. I'm going to go Belgium number 1. And for the next spot, I'm looking at Canada, Croatia. And for Canada, I really want them to succeed in this tournament. They have a lot of MLS guys, and I think they just play a great brand of football, and they're just fun to watch, and they were a great story in World Cup qualifying. But I think it's going to end up coming up a little bit flat for them as they finish in third. Croatia, second place, and Morocco in fourth. And that brings us to our penultimate group, Group G, with Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. And for this one, it's easy. There's an easy outlier here. It's Brazil. They are one of the favorites for this tournament, and that's why I have them in number 1. Other than that, I really feel like Cameroon might pull off a big upset in here to finish in second place. Again, these African teams, a lot of people underestimate them, but you do have to watch out. And for the next two, it's kind of a toss-up. Serbia, Switzerland, kind of that second tier of European teams. I'll go Serbia in fourth place and Switzerland in third. And for the final group, we have Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea. And I'll start this one off by talking about this huge interview that Ronaldo gave with Piers Morgan, where he basically talked trash about Man United, Ten Hag, and everything about that whole situation. And it's such a weird timing because why would you release such a dramatic interview with a lot of controversy right before the biggest tournament and maybe your last tournament in the World Cup? So surprising timing there by Ronaldo. But I still think he's going to come through and they're going to finish in first place with Ronaldo playing a huge part in that. But maybe you made it a little bit more difficult morale-wise because of your decisions there, Mr. Cristiano. In second place, you have to look at Ghana. They're another team that always seems to show up for these World Cups. But Uruguay, number 2. I'm going Ghana number 3 and South Korea in the last place. All right, now we're moving on to the knockout rounds. And on the one side of the bracket, our results have led us to Senegal, USA, Argentina, Denmark, Germany, Croatia, and Brazil, and Uruguay. For this first one, Senegal, USA, you love to think the USA are going to win it. But, with such a young squad, the youngest in the competition, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if the USA is going to have that mental toughness to get through the emotional battle that we always seem to come across when we're playing a team from Africa. We've seen Ghana take advantage of us multiple times. So for this one, I'm going with a big surprise here, possibly. I'm taking Senegal over the USA. In the next one, Argentina, Denmark. Now again, I know Denmark have that dark horse ability, but Lionel Messi. That's all you got to say. This Argentina squad is going to do everything they can to get Messi into that final for another chance to win this trophy. We've seen that recently in that documentary where, again, it really seems like this team just wants to win it for Messi. They're all together. And again, this is a well-built team. So Argentina over Denmark. Germany, Croatia. This is going to be a big one, but I'm pretty sure my big boys, Germany, are going to pull through. Now for Croatia, I don't think we're going to see what they did in 2018. I think that was a little bit of lightning in a bottle. They are a good dark horse team, just like Denmark, as we mentioned. But Germany, they're going to come in with no remorse after what happened in 2018. So Germany, I got moving on. And for the final matchup, we have a South American rivalry, Brazil, Uruguay. And I think that Brazil just has a team that is prepared to win this tournament this year. So I'm taking Brazil to go through on that one. And for the first one, on the other side of the bracket, we have England versus the Netherlands. And for this one, I'm going with the upset. I'm taking the Netherlands here. And the reason for that is strictly just because I feel it. It's in my gut right now. I don't think England are going to have such an amazing run for the third tournament in a row, and the Netherlands are going to upset them, and that English arrogance, I feel like, might come into play for that one. And for the next one, we have France, Poland, and this one's easy. I'm going France. They are just levels above Poland. For the next one, Belgium, Spain. I think this is going to be a big one because both teams are super tight, but with key playmakers and game winners like Kevin De Bruyne. I'm going with Belgium to win this one. And for the final round of 16, we have Portugal, Cameroon, and I'm going Portugal in this one. And now moving on to the quarterfinals for this side of the bracket, we have Senegal and Argentina, and I'm going with Argentina to make it through. And for Brazil, Germany in the quarterfinals of a World Cup, you know, I'm getting reminiscence of 7-1 back in 2014. I think Brazil's going to pull it off. They're going to get that revenge on Germany. And on the other side of the bracket, Netherlands, France. We're going France. And then I'm going to go Portugal into the semifinal, which leaves us a possible matchup of Argentina-Portugal, but I'm going the opposite. Brazil are going to make it into the final, and I think France are going to for the second World Cup in a row, which brings us to Brazil. France in the final. It's a tough one, but I'm going on this big train this year, and it's the Brazil train. I think that Brazil are going to win the World Cup, and they are my pick for the 2022 World Cup. And that's going to be it for this prediction video. I have Brazil winning the World Cup this year, and obviously I'd love the USA to win it, or at least get a little further than I predicted. But Brazil, please prove me right. Feel free to leave your predictions in the comments below. Let me know what team you think's going to win this tournament, and along with that, let's throw in who's going to be the top scorer for you. I appreciate you all watching the video. It's the World Cup time, baby. Let's get into this. I'm so excited, and I'll see you next time.